Praise the Lord. I am here to share a message on faith. You all know that we had just purchased an apartment, so I just want to share an incident. By last December, we were planning to buy an apartment, and during that process, we went and saw many apartments. But each and every time I saw the apartments, I was praying to God that let your will be done, because I don't want to make the wrong decisions. And finally, we chose an apartment, and it was in our budget. And there were a lot of confusions with the seller and the brokers, and there were a lot of issues with the papers. So in each and every time that happened, I was praying to the Lord, saying that if it is not your will, let it just pass away. And but every time the confusion came and I prayed, the confusions went off, and everything moved smoothly. It was all like a miracle, because I didn't have to do anything. Then finally, on the day of registration, I was there in the registrar's office, and this person from the bank had come down to give the check to the seller, and he was going through the sale deed, the original sale deed, and he had a copy of the sale deed that I had given the bank. And when he was going through all that, he found out there were a lot of errors in the original sale deed. It was like the sale deed he had, the copy and the original were different. And I was getting tensed. Because I had spent around 10 lakhs to pay the advance to the seller, which he had made me write on a agreement saying that I will not ask the money back. So the seller was there, the person from the bank was there. We were in the registrar's office, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now, and a lot of confusions were coming up. So at that time, I didn't even have the courage to call a pastor and tell him that something like this is happening. So I just took 2 minutes, I just stepped out and I just prayed. And God gave me a message saying that when He had asked the Israelites, when they came out of Egypt, to go and they had sent 12 people to scan out the land of Canaan, and only 2 of them got a good report, saying that the words were like, the place is filled with land of milk and honey. That's the words in the Bible. So I was like asking God that you told me this is a great place, and even though the place doesn't look great from outside, when we go inside the apartment, it's a very nice place. So I was asking God, you asked me to do all this, you asked me to pay the money, and now here there's nothing that can be done, because after 3 days after the registration, the person who's selling has to fly off to America, and he's not going to come back. So I don't have any more time to rectify all these papers. So I asked God, you asked me to do all this, so what am I supposed to do? So He just told me, like, when I asked them to scan out Canaan, they said the place is good, but it's filled with giants. And they did not have the faith to move forward. 40 years later, when they went to this place of Canaan to conquer it, I did not give them a plain empty piece of land so that they could just walk into it freely. There were all these giants, there were all these issues there, but at that 40 years later also, they needed the faith to move. So He told me, if you have the faith, miracles will happen. And then it's like a peace came on me, and I just stood back, and miraculously, the person who had the check, he called up his high officials, and my writer was there. He called up the bank. He told the boy who had come down with the check that it was the mistake from the bank. They had to go through these papers, but he has rectified all these papers, And he's giving a guarantee that all these papers are correct. And miraculously, the bank is like, okay, go ahead, give the check. And I'm like, that is practically impossible, because the bank goes through around 1 month of scrutiny to go through all these papers. And so I just wanted to share that, because even if we walk in faith and when we reach a point that God has promised, God is going to give it on a silver platter, but then we might not feel it's empty or it's clean. But when we walk, He's going to clear all those issues for us. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.